Just yesterday, I made a video talking about my expectations of the Vex Mythoclast buff and the possible outcome of how strong it might be with that shopping list of buffs. Now today, the new season's hit, and the first thing I wanted to do was take a look at the new Vex Mythoclast. And wow, it is far better than before, but is it broken? Or is it as broken as it could have potentially been? Well, let's take a look. Firstly, let's go over the stats that have changed and seen some pretty significant boosts. Firstly, the range has been cranked up to 86, which is even higher than I anticipated. They said near best in class of the high impact autos. I would say this is best in class for the high impact autos. That is incredible. And then also now it has 46 stability, which is a noticeable difference. It feels similar to how 3 stacks of the overcharge with the previous catalyst worked. The catalyst for the Mythoclast works quite differently now, and it's been completely reworked. Now when it's in the full auto mode, when you get kills with it or final blows with this weapon, it gets bonus damage and bonus stability as well as bonus accuracy, which I don't think was something mentioned even in the changes for this. So damage, accuracy, and stability, all very, very significant things that make this weapon incredibly lethal for that short duration that it's active. It is not a permanent buff, and it's no longer linked to the overcharged stacks. It functions independently of those now, and the old previous functionality of the stacks granting permanent stability boosts is no more. Finally, the Vex Mythoclast got a slight rate of fire bump to 390 RPM, and we talked about this earlier. This gives it a 0.77 optimal time to kill, taking 5 crit and 1 body shot. If you don't land any headshots, you're gonna get a 1.23 second time to kill in 9 shots. And if you hit a little bit of a mix between headshots and body shots, headshots still being the majority, so 4 headshots and 2 body, you're going to get a time to kill of 0.92 seconds. This weapon's time to kill is quite competitive. Of course, it still is an auto weapon, so it's gonna lack that damage per shot and not gonna be able to use cover quite as often, but it'll definitely shred and do so within a pretty good range. Its newly improved 86 range gives it 29 meters before experiencing any sort of damage drop off, meaning it's actually treated as an auto rifle. And because of the massive range buff, it's also getting more consistency in landing shots and especially headshots at range because the range stat does affect accuracy. So less of that ghost bullet feeling that was present before. When we get a kill with the Vex Mythoclast, it now gives us a 20% damage buff, which is quite significant. However, it does not stack. This means that with the buff active, it deals 43 damage to the head and 26 damage to the body. And that gives it the ability to 5-shot kill, and it's not even 5 headshots. It just takes 4 crit, 1 body, and that'll deal 198 damage, give or take. That's a 0.61 second time to kill, and it's not even perfect precision required. Still majority precision, but that's something that you can actually do pretty consistently and probably quite often, and that's really wild. That offers a similar degree of lethality as an SMG, however it has more range. The caveat though is that it's not as forgiving as an SMG. If you miss a shot with this weapon, your TTK will plummet a lot harder than that of an SMG would, and you really miss out on that potential lethality a lot of the time. The catalyst, as I mentioned, grants a pretty significant boost to stability. Again, it feels similar to how the ×6 overcharge stacks felt. And the accuracy boost was a very pleasant surprise. I mentioned that this weapon is incredibly inaccurate before its buff and makes it feel so inconsistent and awful at range. With this accuracy boost, it's crazy. You literally see the crosshair tighten, you see the accuracy cone tighten when you get this buff when you're in hipfire, and it doesn't even bloom out not nearly as fast or not as much at its maximum point. It is an insane accuracy buff that makes this thing beam at range consistently. You get that massive, huge, thick aim assist cone and just an absolutely pinpoint accuracy cone. It's just chef's kiss. It's beautiful. It's the best cones. Seriously though, this weapon got a perfect glow up. I think it is plenty viable. It feels like the perfect hybrid weapon. It's not quite an auto rifle or a long range weapon, but it's not quite as close range or as forgiving as that of an SMG. It's really that perfect middle ground hybrid weapon that would probably contest something like the Last Word or be slightly less range than that of a hand cannon. I'm honestly pretty happy with how this weapon buff was handled. On first glance, it was very scary reading these changes, but in practice, I think they've been handled in a way that gives a perfect homage to what this weapon was originally, with those crazy buffs that it gets on kill, but still gets to have that cool new functionality of the linear fusion. It doesn't punish you for swapping anymore, so you have a little bit more freedom to use this as that hybrid weapon, and has decent neutral performance that feels like that, you know, a perfect hybrid weapon. It feels like a great hybrid weapon to function between not quite an SMG, not quite an AR. This just right in the middle. It's awesome. I really like it. Is it too strong? Only time will tell. I'm not quite sure if it's too strong or not. Right now, I'm liking it. I don't think it's too bad. It feels just viable per se, but we gotta wait to see how the meta develops and see how strong this gun is in practice as we face good players and see it in a meaningful environment, of course. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope to go on some tears with this weapon. I think I'm going to be maining it and using this hybrid weapon throughout the season, upping that kill counter. I'm excited. Like I said, hope you enjoyed, and if you would like to see me up that kill counter and hopefully go on some tears with this, check out my Twitch. Should be in the description below, unless I forgot to put it there. I don't know. But yeah, see you guys later. Take it easy.